what's happening, everybody? Monday, February 17th, 2025. My name is Kevin Smith. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Loud Majority Live. We got a jam-packed show for you guys today on this President's Day 2025. Oh, yeah. Giddy up. Let's go, everybody. I'm jacked up. There was a huge shakeup in Germany over the weekend. We showed you some of that. 60 Minutes put out a response to J.D. Vance basically saying that the Germans are authoritarians. And, well, the Germans basically proved us right, saying that you can be arrested for a meme. Now, why am I going to talk about this? Because they said you're not allowed to be mean to people on the internet in Germany, that's a crime. So I'm going to verbally assault every single person in each and every one of those videos, and I'm going to see if our Lederhosen wearing friends have something to say about it. We'll see what they have to do. Also, Tom Homan makes Dana Bash look like an absolute idiot. A very famous school in Colorado gets into a little bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble. One might say grooming kids. Really no other way to put it. Really no other way to put it. Also, Rachel Maddow lies to her entire audience and gets called out on Jesse Waters. Luckily, it's on MSNBC, so no one saw it. But, well, you know, they're at the point now where they're not even masking their contempt for you. They're just making shit up. They're just making it up. Oh, yeah. And Vladimir Zelensky said without America, Ukraine wouldn't exist. So I guess Ukraine doesn't exist anymore. That's a real shame. Before we get started, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out all over the place. We got big news coming out each and every way, up ways, down ways, and sideways. The videos out of Germany are absolutely incredible. And the reason I bring this up is because Germany, over the course of the next week or so, has a new election coming. Will the AfD win? They are, of course, the populist anti-immigration party that we've been seeing ruminate throughout all of Europe and the majority of the world and the populous nations around the world. So naturally, the establishments are very upset about this. Very, very upset about this. Before we get started, once again, hit the thumbs up button. Jay Clark, how are you? AC Knight, what's happening? Jeanette, how are you? Very good. Make sure you guys are hitting the thumbs up button, following the channel, share the video out all over the place. Big shout out to the Four Nations, Team USA, for going into Canada and beating the crap out of those denim on denim wearing, moose riding, syrup drinking, communist having Canadians, okay? Big shout out to Team USA for not only kicking the crap out of them on the ice, but literally beating them up. They literally beat the crap out of the Canadians, which, look, I want to be clear. Is it all that impressive to beat up a Canadian? Not really. Not really. They're an odd bunch. They're going to be a really annoying 51st state. I'm only kidding. I don't think that's going to happen. But nevertheless, Justin, just walking with Jesus. Strong Island, what's up, baby? How are we doing? So, the swamp is imploding. They are losing their ever-loving minds. Democrats don't know which way is up. And I feel like that's been a real theme of this show for the last week and a half or so. And why is that the case? Well, Donald Trump is doing something very important here. And it's something I want you all to pay attention to. He is flooding the zone. He has told his guys, whether it's Lee Zeldin, whether it's Cash, whether it's Tulsi. We just got a word from Brooke Rollins, the new Ag Secretary. Flood the zone with so much stuff happening every single day that the media can't keep up with it. The media can't keep up. And because of that, as Steve Bannon tells us to do on a regular basis, one of my favorite Steve Bannon quotes, is to focus on the signal and avoid the noise. The noise is over here. That's the crap we don't need to worry about. Focus on the signal. Focus on the signal. Focus on the mission at hand here. If you're a football fan, you know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about the motion receiver. Pay attention to the quarterback. Focus on what matters, and we will continue to thrive. That's why I think sometimes Donald Trump will say a policy that I would consider to be a little bit out there, a little bit crazy, like, taking over Gaza. I don't know about all that. Media focuses on that for 3 days. We're taking over Gaza. Nobody voted for this. Blah-de-blah. While we're doing the important stuff down here. While down here we're getting all the stuff done. While Elon Musk continues to expose the sort of corruption taking place in our government. I don't know about you guys, and you can tell by my new Doge hat. Very nice stuff. Quality stuff. You can get that at loudmajorityusa.com. But while Elon Musk, every time Elon Musk exposes a little bit of this corruption, I get more and more excited about what I know I voted for. Every time he exposes the fact that, is it possible some people are on the Social Security rolls who are 250 years old, as was exposed over the course of the weekend? Every time he does this, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Serena Williams at the Super Bowl, just out there crip walking. Like this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I voted for. This is exactly the baloney we've been talking about. And I can't stress this point enough. If an entity like USAID was solely, fighting malaria or AIDS or providing water to people, if it was just doing that, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, all right, you know what? I think that, sometimes the more powerful nations have a responsibility to make sure there isn't some widespread pandemic or widespread, viral outbreak. Okay, I got no problem with that. And then Elon Musk goes in and we're talking about gay comic books in Peru. And I go, no. No, you don't. Stop doing that. And because Donald Trump is flooding the zone, Democrats can't keep up. The media can't keep up. And because they can't keep up, the moment they get mired in a single scandal, they don't know what the hell to do with themselves. Because now they're defending over here, and they're missing all the stuff Donald Trump is doing over there. What do I mean by that? Well, a story got broke over the course of the weekend that Caitlin Collins over on CNN, Debbie, thank you. Love the hat and the t-shirt paired up. You guys can get that at loudmajorityusa.com. That's the best way to support this program. I got to be honest with you. I'm jacked up today. Giddy up, let's go. I'm jacked up for a few reasons. I got great news like an hour ago. Can't tell you about it just yet, but I got great news. Great news. But, yes. Thank you very much, Debbie. Whenever there's all this happening in the press, the media can't keep up. And they're going to try to do as best they can. But when you have people out there like Caitlin Collins, who might have messed up a little bit, apparently Caitlin Collins, inadvertently, because she's dumb. She tweeted out something she thought was a link to Luigi Mangioni's case. It turns out it was actually a link to a GoFundMe for his defense. Luigi Mangione, of course, is the spoiled little bitch who didn't get everything that he wants, so he shot some guy in the back like a coward in the middle of Manhattan. CNN anchor Caitlin Collins boosted the legal fund page for Luigi Mangione. Caitlin Collins, the White House correspondent for CNN, quite a demotion, as well as an anchor for the outlet, promoted the legal defense for Mangione, who was accused of assassinating Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Now, look, do I think we need healthcare reform in this country? Absolutely, I think we do. I think our healthcare system doesn't work for anybody. Absolutely. However, as a reporter, you can't promote the legal defense fund of a murderer. Of an accused murderer for the lawyers. Accusations. Innocent but proven guilty. Trial by jury, Constitution, all that stuff. Got to make sure I say that. So Caitlin Collins spent the weekend defending herself from that, all while all while Donald Trump and Doge was continuing to kick butt left and right. So much so that the former head of the Republican National Committee, Michael Steele, who is now an anchor over on MSNBC, is losing his mind. Losing his mind because the Democrats have no fight in them. Hakeem Jeffries came out the other day and said, what do you want us to do? We're in the minority. And I watched all the left-wing podcasts. I watched the Young Turks, and I watched them all to gauge their reaction on the de facto leader of their party saying, nothing we can do, which means they've given up. Here's Michael Steele, the former head of the RNC, who now hosts a show on MSNBC, just yelling at clouds.
What are what would you have us do?
I would actually, you know what? I'd just like you to show that you give a damn, that you got a little emotion about the fact that people are losing their jobs indiscriminately, that this individual sitting down at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has given absolute power to one man who brings his son into the Oval Office, whose son says to him, "You're not the president. You shouldn't be in that chair." Now, where did he get that from? He got it from his daddy, because that's what his daddy thinks is the man who brought him into the Oval Office. So I just like to see somebody wake the hell up and get excited about the fact that your country is under assault. They're not at the gate anymore. They're in your bedrooms. They're in your living rooms. They're in your businesses. They got your data, dumbass. They got all your stuff. Elon Musk has his tentacles in everything you're doing, not just off of X, but now he's in the Treasury Department. He's in the Labor Department. He's in the Department of Homeland Security. And nobody seems to give a damn. So that's all I want, somebody to show that they care enough to get off their fat ass and say something about it.
But let's be honest.
Yay! Elon Musk is in everything. I don't care. Take my data. I don't know what the hell you're even going to do with it. Elon Musk is going to have his tentacles in the Department of Homeland Security. Oh, no. You mean we might stop paying $100 million for F-35s that don't work? And outdated technology? The future of the United States Air Force is not going to be Maverick from Top Gun. He's not going to be on the headset talking to Val Kilmer. No, the future of the United States Air Force is going to be some 280-pound fat guy sitting in his parents' basement controlling a drone. That's the future of the American Air Force. That's the future of air superiority in this world. It's going to be drone technology. It's not going to be $100 million single pilot planes that could be taken down. No. Not to mention the fact, we played it on the show, Matt Gaetz sat on the Homeland Security Committee and exposed the fact that the majority, like 70%, of the F-35s we just purchased from whoever the hell makes them, Lockheed, Boeing, any of the other gaggle of useless assholes in D.C., they don't even work. But that's not the part of the Michael Steele quote I want to talk about. People are indiscriminately losing their jobs. Now, look, do I want anybody to lose their job? No, I don't. But they were offered a 7-month buyout, where they got to sit around on their fat ass for 7 months, look for a new job, go to Cabo, go to Greece and eat olives. They could do whatever the hell they wanted. They chose not to and then got fired for it. So don't tell me people are losing their jobs. Not to mention, I hate to break this to you, Michael Steele. I hate to break this to you because as the former head of the Republican National Committee, you would think you would understand the concept of a one-industry town. Because that's what Washington, D.C., Alexandria, Arlington, Silver Springs, Maryland, that's what they are. They are one-industry towns. Is it like Huntington, West Virginia? That's a coal town? No. Is it like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? A steel town? No. The one industry in Washington, D.C. is the government. So it turns out, guys, you spent the last 70 years offshoring, exporting, cutting jobs in one industry towns like Huntington, West Virginia, like Middleton, Ohio. You spent the last 70 years gutting that, and you didn't give a damn about those people. And now finally, we the people are back in charge of the one industry town that is Washington, D.C. And we're saying that you've been suckling at our tit for the last 70 years, and it is time to get off of the tit. We're done. We're done. If you're a speechwriter for the head of USAID and you just lost your job because the head of USAID got fired, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you if your job was to get coffee at the Department of Agriculture and now you don't have a job anymore. You shouldn't have had one in the first place. You shouldn't have had one in the first place. But government has gotten so big and so bloated that not only has your job become virtually not important, not needed, it's become redundant. And when you have people in business, regardless of who they are, look, I want to be clear. If given the option between career bureaucrats on the left or business people on the left being in power, if those are my only two options, I would take the business people every single time. Every single time. Who is a business leader on the left? Mark Cuban. I would take a Mark Cuban over a Bernie Sanders. I would take a Mark Cuban over a Liz Warren because at least a business person could get rid of the redundancies in government. You know how much I hate having meetings with people who run corporations because you got to have a meeting about the meeting you're about to have. So many people just, they have Zoom meetings and conference calls and memos and just do the damn job. If you've ever worked in any government entity, you know that like 90% of them are the movie Office Space, where somebody walks in and says, "What is it that you do here?" And the person on the other side of the table can't answer the question because the totality of their job is to be there. It's over. It's absolutely over. And these people were given 7-month buyouts, and they chose not to take them. I don't know what the hell you want. And yeah, am I sure that, am I positive? 100% I'm positive that some 5, 10, 15% of some of these agencies are valuable. 5, 10, 15% of them are worth having? Yes, but I am not going to keep the totality of an agency because 10% of it does good. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I want to be clear. All the savings that we're seeing going towards some of this stuff, all the savings that is going towards this stuff, Elon Musk hasn't gotten to the big ones yet. He hasn't gotten through the IRS. He hasn't gotten to the Pentagon. He hasn't gotten to the State Department. People don't like that J.D. Vance went to Germany over the weekend and basically told them there's a new sheriff in town. Well, I don't really care. I don't care that the Canadians are upset with Donald Trump. You know what I care about? I care about that there is no point in being the world's last superpower unless you flex your muscles a little bit. Unless you say you're going to do what we say you're going to do. Because if we don't, we're going to be repeatedly and aggressively taken advantage of. And that's what we've seen. Since, I don't know. Since Nixon opened China. we'll say. 50 years? Most of your lifetimes? America is done being the sugar daddy of the world. We are done listening to countries that would not exist without us. One of those, sorry to say, it's going to be Ukraine. We'll get to that in 1 minute. Before we do that, guys, head on over to lfatv.us. That's lfatv.us. That's your home base, your mothership, your landing pad for all things LFA TV related. Check out the LFA TV store. And while you guys are there, consider becoming a monthly donor over at lfatv.us. That's lfatv.us. So, look, like a 40-year-old who's still living in the basement and doesn't have to pay any bills, your child will never grow up unless you force them into the real world. And that is what American foreign aid has done to many of these countries. If your GDP is like $15 billion a year, and you get $3 billion a year from the United States, we're subsidizing 20% of your entire economy. And then we cut that off. Maybe it's time to rip the Band-Aid off. Maybe it's time. Because what we've been doing is not working. And Vladimir Zelensky, the resident cokehead from Kiev, decided to say that to one of the worst journalists in America, Kristen Welker, over the course of the weekend. That if America does not support Ukraine, it will not exist. Well, I hate to break this to you, bro, but how long should we do this for? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Should we post up military bases in Ukraine like we have in Germany? And we are going to get to our lederhosen-clad friends in a minute. But here was Zelensky just basically shaking a cup on television until we fill it up with our change.
What security guarantees does Ukraine need specifically from the United States?
The strong package of missiles, like prevention step, that we will not use it before any invasion. We will not use it. But if they will do it, we will do it quickly. But it has to stand on our territory, not like it was before the full-scale invasion that White House put sanctions after invasion. No. And gave us weapons after invasion. No, they occupied it big territory. If we could have before, they couldn't occupy us. Yes, some territory, but not everything, because we've been without weapons. That's why strong package of missiles and big army. If we're not in nature, as I said, comparable with Russians, not sure the same number, but comparable, not to give them possibility to occupy it. And it's psychologically it's very important, because psychologically it's a strong signal that Putin will not go if he understands that oppositely stay the same, comparable, the same number army.
Can Ukraine survive without U.S. military support?
Probably it will be very, very, very difficult. And of course, in all the difficult situations, you have a chance, but we will have low chance to survive without support of the United States.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not sure in that very emotional, very sad diatribe. I'm not really finding, what would the phrase be? My problem. I just don't see how I am supposed to care about that. And for all the people out there, like the Lindsey Grahams and the neocons, feel free to go help them anytime you want, Lindsey Graham. Go do it. Get on a plane. I'm leaving on a jet plane, and I don't know when you'll be back again. Have a good time, bro. No one's stopping you. For all the assholes with Ukrainian flags in their Twitter bio, go help them. No one is stopping you. Oh, that's right. Right. You would rather go pay to have an entire generation of Ukrainians die so that you can feel good about yourself. Right. I forgot about that. Right. Because nothing says liberal smugness like sending poor people in Eastern Europe to their death for a war that could have ended 3 years ago. Where is the anti-war left? Where are they? Oh, that's right. They're out there bitching about Israel. I mean, look, chat, if I'm wrong, tell me. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. I've been wrong in the past. I don't think I'm wrong here. If America was in a good place, if America needed to do this, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Moreover, and I mean this, if Zelensky wanted to buy the weapons, all right, buy as much as you want. We'll even give you a discount. We'll even give you a promo code to use, like every company on planet Earth does for podcasters. Promo code LOUD over at mypillow.com. Like every company on Earth does. We'll give you a promo code, Zelensky. But to just expect that we will just give it to you, I gotta ask, had to turn the volume down for that one because I don't want to say the F word on the show. Who do you think you are that you deserve this? Go shake a cup at another country. And now Europe is starting to get the message. They're starting to get the message. As British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has decided that if the United States backs out of Ukraine, he's going to send peacekeepers to Ukraine. Let's see how the British Labour Party, how the UK Labour Party does the first time British soldiers start dying in a place they can't pronounce. Let's see how that goes. Maybe it's time for the Germans to step up. We all know how much Germans love killing Russians. You know, it's sort of like in their history. We all know how much they love doing that. But no, Germany's not doing that. They won't step their game up. They would rather let America pay for it. When, I gotta be honest with you, this whole Eastern European thing, I've been saying it for like 2 years now, seems like a real Europe problem and not a real America problem. We've got problems here in America, and we've got to worry about those, like the fact that we're being invaded by hordes of South American gang members. No. Like the fact that we have our own citizens undermining the rule of law in this country by showing illegal immigrants how to avoid ICE. Do you know how to avoid ICE? It's real simple. You go home. Can you believe? We're sending illegals to Guantanamo Bay? All right, nobody's forcing you to go there, bro. You can go back to Caracas. Nobody's stopping you. And Tom Homan went on CNN this weekend and decided to make Dana Bash look very silly, which, look, gotta be honest with you. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Making a lot out of nothing.
What is your promise, sir?
My promise is I'm not going to ask those officers to be immigration officers. I'm not going to push them to enforce immigration law. I told them I want to arrest the bad guy. I want to arrest the public safety threats. I want to get Rikers Island so we can get the public safety threat before they're released to the street. I want his help, especially the NYPD intelligence unit, who's the finest intelligence apparatus in the world, to help me find missing children. There are probably many are in forced labor, many are going to be in forced sex trafficking. Not all of them, but many of them. And that's a promise I made to him. Do you do law enforcement stuff? Help me get the public safety threats and the children. I'm never going to ask you to arrest an illegal alien, and that is my promise. Not to make them immigration officers, but make them cops working with cops.
So if he doesn't do the things that you want him to do, would you be okay with DOJ reopening its investigation into him? Should they do that?
That's out of my lane. I'm a border czar. I care about the border. So let DOJ do what they do. I care about removing public safety threats from the country, as President Trump's promised the American people.
Adam says that you aren't looking into New York schools or churches as you hunt for undocumented immigrants. Did you make that commitment to him?
Well,
I love it. Dana Bash answers the question, okay? Eric Adams says you're not looking for illegal immigrants in schools. Tom Homan says he's not looking for illegal immigrants in schools. Dana Bash says, why are you looking for illegal immigrants in schools? It's almost hard to believe people don't trust these people anymore. It's almost hard to believe people think that Rachel Maddow is a clown. It's almost hard to believe. They're doing it to themselves. And when we get to the Germany segment, I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're talking about. Before we keep rocking and rolling here today, guys, Mike Lindell.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
Guys, head on over to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. That's MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. For up to, for their mega sale. Giddy up, let's go. For their giant mega sale, guys, head on over to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. Guys, hit the thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Share it out. Hit the thumbs up button wherever you're watching. Make sure you're following the page. We got some big news coming up on this show. I'm super excited about it. Guys. Once again, thumbs up, thumbs up. We got big numbers today. What are we at? Let's see, 230. I think we can get let's see if we can get to 300 rumbles by the end of the show. Green Broccoli, what's happening? Coffee-fueled rage. What's happening? Bad Moon. Oh, somebody got booted from the chat. What happened? Was somebody being mean to me? I didn't see. Chevy's, what's happening? Caps, how we doing? Patty Vest, what's going on? Goose, what's happening, everybody? I want to say hello to everybody watching in the Rumble chat. Let's see if we can get to that 300 mark by the end of the show. Let's see if we have Britain can't keep the peace in their own country. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Shout out to Donna in the chat. Christine watching on Facebook. Guys, make sure you're hitting the thumbs up button wherever you're watching. Like the video. Share the video. Here we go. Let's go. So, let's talk about our bratwurst-eating friends over in Deutschland. Okay? Let's talk about them. Because, J.D. Vance went over there the other day and slapped them around like a redheaded stepchild for being against free speech. And then some guy came out who I think he had the same job as Hermann Goering, Germany, when it comes to suppressing the rights of the German people, I think maybe some of them should pump the brakes a little bit, because 60 Minutes, and my head hurt watching this. I watched it all happen live. They seemed gleeful. They seemed very excited about the fact that in Germany, you can get arrested for insulting someone online. Yet, they can come out and, with a straight face, say something like, oh yeah, we support free speech. Here's the insult crimes.
It's illegal to display Nazi symbolism, a swastika, or deny the Holocaust. That's clear. Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher if you insult someone in the internet.
Why?
because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you in the internet, if I insult you or a politician,
That sticks around forever.
yeah.
The prosecutors explain German law also prohibits the spread of malicious gossip, violent threats, and fake quotes.
If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well, because the reader can't distinguish whether you just invented this or just reposted it. That's the same for us.
The punishment for breaking hate speech laws can include jail time for repeat offenders. But in most cases, a judge levies a stiff fine and sometimes keeps their devices.
How do people react when you take their phones from them?
They are shocked. It's a kind of punishment if you lose your smartphone. It's even worse than the fine you have to pay.
It is funny. Holy shit, what could possibly go wrong? Because normally, and I want to be clear, normally when Germany moves towards this sort of censorship, authoritarian world, they usually tend to go right through Belgium. What could possibly go wrong there? But here's the difference. And why do I bring up Germany? Look, they're a world power. They're a member of NATO. They're a member of the G7. I would say, arguably, other than the United States, they're probably the most powerful country in the West. I bring it up because this is terrifying. Arrested for a meme? Who would ever get arrested for a meme?
It's 6:01 on a Tuesday morning, and we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany.
Hier ist die Polizei, wir mussten bitte mal mit Ihnen reden.
Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Prosecutors say those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online. At the exact same time across Germany, more than 50 similar raids played out. Part of what prosecutors say is a coordinated effort to curb online hate speech in Germany.
Wait, so you mean the German police got together all at the same time and conducted more than 50 raids of political dissenters in the middle of the night? I don't know. I haven't read my world history textbook in a little while, but I think if I did, these people are Nazis. They're Nazis. They're Nazis. There's just no other way to say it. And not in like the colloquial, like, oh, Democrats say everyone are Nazis. I mean, these people are Nazis. And I'm sure many of them, including this woman I'm about to show you, who is a pro-censorship activist, judging by her hair color and eye color, I'm pretty sure if she looked back like a generation or two in her family tree, she probably wouldn't like what she found.
The criticism that, this feels like the surveillance that Germany conducted 80 years ago. How do you respond to that?
There is no surveillance.
Josephine Ballon is a CEO of Hate Aid, a Berlin-based human rights organization that supports victims of online violence.
In the United States, a lot of people look at this and say this is restricting free speech. It's a threat to democracy.
Free speech needs boundaries.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, free speech needs boundaries. No, it doesn't. It's like it does not.
And in the case of Germany, these boundaries are part of our constitution. Without boundaries, a very small group of people can rely on endless freedom to say anything that they want.
Oh, a small group of people can rely on freedom to say anything they want. Did you just... Yet, there are some people out there saying that J.D. Vance may have overstepped his bounds. As the second in command of the most powerful nation that has ever existed. I tell you what, how about this, Germany? How about this, okay? You ready for this? I got one for you. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. What if you comport to the free speech as known in America, or, and hear me out, we close all of our military bases in Germany, which is 4% of your entire GDP. What if we did that? What a thought! What if we closed Ramstein Air Force Base and then all those businesses around there close? What if we did that? All of this could have been avoided if you just didn't import like 3 million people from the third world. All of it could have been avoided. But the reason why it is the same way American elites feel as European elites. What do I mean by that, Kevin? Well, in Europe, and they've been trying to do this for quite some time now, they're the elites, not the people, the elites. They don't see themselves as German or French or English or Spanish or Portuguese. They see themselves as Europeans. And because of that, it gives less autonomy to each individual country because it is a collective in Europe. The same way the United States, on a larger scale, their elites see themselves as global elites. And we're just supposed to sit back and say whatever. As a matter of fact, a woman in Switzerland, who is only sustained by Nazi gold, fact, she said that they should ban X outright, ban Twitter outright in Switzerland. Guys, do you want there to be violence in the streets? Because this is how you're going to get it. You cannot suppress the will of your people without pushback. You can't do it. You wanted this global world. So, if that little Nazi lady, if she wants to suppress her own citizens, I promise you, I will take it upon myself to make every insulting comment I possibly can about all of the people you just saw on TV, that you just saw on the screen. Why? Come and get me. And I'm sorry, I am not going to listen to German elites tell me about what is necessary for freedom. Their top tourist destination is a concentration camp, okay? So why don't you guys go... Had to make sure I turn that off again. I'm not going to listen to those people. I'm not going to listen to the people who perpetrated the worst genocide in history. Tell me about this. Perpetrated is the reason for the 2 world wars. I'm not going to listen to the people who only exist because America and the American military might undergirds not only their entire economy, but they would still be Soviets if we didn't have people in West Germany or West Berlin. How many wars, how many global international conflicts were underpinned by the Berlin Wall? How many? The totality of the Cold War? I don't know how long America has to come to these people's aids and spit in the face of America at the same time. There's an old saying, don't bite the hand that feeds you. You're doing it now. So here's what's going to happen, Germany. You're going to start importing American-made cars. You're going to take in American-made grain. You're going to buy American steel. And if you don't like it, maybe we shut down 4% of your entire economy. Like that, overnight. Maybe you start funding your own military defense overnight. It is time to start utilizing the American dollar, not as a currency, but as a weapon. You will do what we say, or there will be consequences. I believe we have a term for that on the internet. It goes something along the lines of FAFO. And they are very, very, very closely teetering to the FO part of that equation. Let's see what happens with the German elections over the course of the next several weeks. Because with the rise of Brexit, with the rise of the UK Reform Party, with the rise of the National Front in France, people are starting to say enough. Enough with the global elites. And the harder we push forward, the more resistance we're going to get. So just remember, just like here in America, Democrats are going to begin losing their minds. That means we should keep pushing. You push where there is resistance. We should continue. The AfD should continue. The National Front should continue. The UK Reform Party should continue. We're done. I mean, just think about this, right? Germany. I've said like 9 things in this show that would get me arrested in Germany. This isn't Bangladesh. This isn't Afghanistan, peace be upon him. This is a modern Western nation. And all those people you just saw said all of that crap with absolute glee. Oh, yes. Guten Tag, Fräulein. Now let me throw you in jail because you posted a meme. And I'm the crazy one. I'm about to show you guys a video out of New Zealand where some people in New Zealand are a little bit upset. Are a little bit upset with the dying of traditional mores. I don't know who these people are. I'm going to give you a little roundabout about them because they're hilarious and they're pretty intense. Before we get to that, guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. That's loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out our shop. You guys can pick up these amazing Kiss Me, I Voted for Trump, or Kiss Me, I'm MAGA shirts for St. Patrick's Day. Giddy up, let's go. Grab those today to make sure you get them for St. Patrick's Day. Or you can get the new Doge hat. Oh, you want to talk about making friends in the supermarket? Throw this bad boy on, and you will meet the coolest people in the world. I can't promise you that. I can just promise you that. So, guys, go to loudmajorityusa.com. That is the best way to support this channel and everything we've got going on. If you're watching on my X, please do subscribe to the X page. Subscribe to the Rumble page. It's the best way to support the network and the channel and the show. Guys, we can't do it without your help. This is user-generated content, and we need your help. So thank you all so much for all the support you always show us. Guys, go to loudmajorityusa.com. That's loudmajorityusa.com. So there was a gay pride parade in New Zealand. Okay. I'm from New York. We have those all the time. Whatever. I don't really care. But there are some people out there that were very, very upset about this. And it turns out there is a native tribe in New Zealand. Oh, I don't even know what I'm going to say this wrong, so people are going to get upset by it. Whatever. I don't care. But they decided to stop a gay pride parade in one of the scariest ways imaginable. Has anybody ever heard of the haka? It turns out these native Polynesian tribes that are down in New Zealand, they're real conservative. Real conservative. And they didn't like what was going on the street, and they tried to stop it in one of the scariest ways imaginable. Now, I don't know what these people want, but whatever they want, I'm doing it. Whatever you want, bro. Whatever you want. Of course, that would be a little bit more intimidating if the guy leading it wasn't wearing a fanny pack. But, I don't know, they're wearing man-up t-shirts and, save the children. All right, bro. Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. That's some of the scariest shit I've ever... You see things like that, and you think to yourself, how was that country ever invaded by anyone? Imagine it's like 1680, and you pull up on the shore in like a big-ass boat. You got one of those hats on, and those stupid shoes, and you see that on the beach. You don't just get back on your ship and go right the hell back where you came from. I'm not going there. I'm not dealing with that. Not happening. That's some scary stuff right there. So, turns out the native Polynesians in New Zealand are out there fighting the children as well, which will be funny because now we've got to sit back and eat popcorn while the leftists out there go, do we support the views of the indigenous population? Or do we side with the gay pride people? While all the conservatives and the New Zealand First, which I'm sure is a thing, is sitting back there eating Cracker Jacks. Such is life. But it's probably because in New Zealand, they don't want to see stuff like this happening. Now, there's a school in Colorado that has done something that, I mean this genuinely, any person that promoted this sort of behavior, there is no punishment that I think would be acceptable for you, that I would be okay with. No punishment at all. Although, the name of the high school is going to sound familiar to some of you.
Colorado investigator Sean Boyd uncovered documents that show school officials helped an underage student declare herself homeless so she could move in with a teacher. Sean Boyd joins us now to talk more on this. And Sean, she was not homeless.
No, and the school district admits that those involved knew that. Yet they helped a student fill out a federal form that said she was homeless, then hid it from her parents so she could move in with a teacher. And that's just the beginning.
There's like this icky feeling that something's wrong, and then as it progressed, it only got worse.
Heather McCormick says there were red flags at Columbine High School long before the school district hired investigators who found teacher Leanne Carney had been grooming a female student. McCormick is friends with that student's mother.
And there wasn't one person who stood up and was like, something doesn't seem right, and reached out to the parents.
Instead, school emails obtained through an open records request show counselors purposefully kept the parents in the dark while they helped their daughter fill out a federal form declaring herself homeless so she could move in with a teacher.
I think it's really scary that we can take teenagers or children of any age and just say, whatever you say is truth, we're not going to investigate it. We're going to take big steps to declare you homeless without notifying your family.
Investigators say Principal Scott Christie also knew about the girl's plans and didn't tell her parents. McCormick says the mom stumbled upon the homeless document while cleaning her daughter's room and later found a letter describing her daughter kissing Carney, along with thousands of calls and texts between the two. She says she sent Carney a message warning her it needed to stop and then took the calls and texts to the principal, who she says dismissed them, telling her Miss Carney takes interest in helping kids navigate their sexuality. You think the school would have reacted differently had Carney been a male teacher?
Oh, absolutely.
Carney quit, but it would take 2 years and pressure from the mom before she lost her teaching license. McCormick says her friend lost far more. When her daughter turned 18, she moved out of state with the teacher.
2 years? Well, hats off to you, teachers union, doing yeoman's work once again, protecting, I don't know, creepy ass teachers. You're right, guys. When your liberal friends say this isn't happening, just point them back to Columbine. History doesn't repeat itself. It just rhymes. Guys, I'm going to head out of here now. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys head on over to loudmajorityusa.com, pick up your Doge hat, and meet more cool people around your neighborhood. We'll be back live 1 p.m. tomorrow. Will Johnson coming up next here on this network. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out the door. Did we get to 300? Did we get to 300? We got pretty close. I'll take it. Until tomorrow, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Stay loud.